Right, welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do invoices for walk-in customers. These are customers who are walking in to access our services, and we want to show you how to record those transactions. So I'm going to walk you through. So when you get logged in to your QuickBooks Online system, you have to come and click on New. You just click on New, then you click on Invoice. This is what is happening each time a customer walks in. So you are clicking on Invoice. Now, you may have to create a cash customer, right? If the customer is not listed here, so you have to make a choice. Do you want to create a cash customer that you use for all the other customers? So you just do so by clicking on Add New, right? So if you are creating just one generic cash customer, it means we just type here, cash. Right. So we're saying if you are to create a cash customer as a generic customer just to use for all other customers, you just have to type that. Let me just type that properly there. Right. All right. So I have created my cash customer. So I'm saying if I was to use just this as a generic customer, I could just click on save without putting any other details, because I'm just going to use this as a cash customer for all other customers. But if I wanted to create a customer and capture the details, which is important for the nature of your business. Why? Because you may want to run promotions, and if you get their details, you have a database of those customers. So it means what you have to do is you have to come here, put a title, Misty, or Mrs. or Doctor, depending on what the person prefers to be called by. Then first name, if there is a first name, then last name, right? Then here you could just type their name in full. If it is a company, if they are representing a company, you can just type the company name there. Then here you could capture their email address. Then here you could capture their phone number, especially their mobile number. You would need that. Then if there is need, you could also request their addresses and everything. This is, to me, this is important. And once you are done, then you click on save. So this is how you create the customer. So you have created the customer. In this case, I'm just going to say no, right? Save. I've said no, I don't want to save that. So I'm just closing this one. Do you want to leave this without saving? Yes. So you have created a customer. In this case, I'm just going to demonstrate using this. So you have created a customer. Then you could probably, put in the email address there. Then you could also capture their billing details there, right? So here now you come, you select the product that you are selling then, right? So we have got our products here. Our products are W1, which is all-inclusive package, W2, overnight accommodation, then W3 school package. But let's say we don't see our product there. We don't see our product there. What it means is we have to create a new product. So we add new, right? Click on add new. So when you click on add new, we're going to be given a window on which we'll be able to add a new product, right? So we are going to select which product are we adding, right? In this case, it's going to be service, right? Yes, it's going to be service. Then we give the name of our product there. We also give the description, right? We can also give a selling price if you want. If you don't want, what we have to do is put a name there and put a description. That will be enough. Then we just click on save and close. So it means it will create a new product. That is if we don't have that product, right? So, okay, let's say probably we just want to use the product that we have. It means we'll pick that product, right? Then we'll put in the quantity, then we put in the rate. The rate is the price. So if I was to put a rate of that much, right, it means my invoice is ready. So I can just save this invoice. So this is how you do the invoice. So when you click on save, what the invoice will do, it will prompt you to print. If to print it, you can print it to PDF, right? So if I was to print this to, all right. So I was saying, let me probably just put $1 so that I can demonstrate. So I've put $1. We're going to probably delete this invoice later on. It's invoice number 901, right? So once we have done that, we can, let me just see the options which are here. So we can save a new if you want to do another invoice. So we can either save a new or we can just save like that, right? So if I click on save, what this does when I click on save, it saves the invoice, right? See, you can see that it has disappeared, right? So that invoice has been saved. So it all depends now if you want to print this invoice. It all depends if you want to print it. How do you print it? We'll show you later on how you print it. Okay, so we have done the invoice. Now, after doing the invoice, and as I said, okay, you may want to give this to a customer. So you may need to print this invoice. So you come here, right? So, okay, fine. Let me just probably do this properly. We've done the invoice. So if you come back here, if you don't see a screen like this one, which I'm observing right now, you come here, you say all sales. For you to see the all the invoices that you have done on your system, right? So, right. So let's say for cash customer, if you want to print this, you just come and then click here. Then you click on print, right? You could then it will bring up the invoice so that you can print to a physical printer. That is, if you have a physical printer. So basically, you can now command by clicking print. Then it will print the invoice. So basically, this is how it goes. So you can just click on print. After selecting your printer here, you then click on print. I'm not going to print this, so I'm just clicking on cancel. So basically, this is how you do it. So again, I'm not going to print this. I'm just going to go back to this window. So we have printed the invoice. Let's say now the customer is paying there and there because this is a cash customer. So we are receiving money there and there. So as I said, you come back here, you say all sales, then you observe this invoice. This is our invoice that we have done. Then you click on a receive payment to receive the payment. So I'm clicking on receive payment. So when I click on receive payment, you'll find it will bring up this window, right? It will bring up this window. Then automatically it will pick the customer. It will also show the amount. Then down here, it will show the invoices for this customer. I just have got one invoice. So it will show these details. Then here I have to put in the payment that has been done. So in this case, the customer is paid what? $1. So I'll just put in that. Then I click on save, right? More importantly, before I click on save, I have to come here and select deposit to account. So I'll have to click down there and see if I have got a cash account. We don't have a cash account, so I'm going to create it. So we click on add new so that quickly we create the cash account. So quickly I'm creating that. So I've clicked on add new. It's going to give me a window on which I'm going to create the new cash account into which the money will go into. So I'm just waiting for it to respond. Okay, probably yes, it has responded. So basically, the type of account is cash and cash equivalents. Then is a bank. Then the name that we're going to give here is not bank. We're going to say cash account because you are going to be having. So this account, I have created it. You no longer need to create it. I have created it. So after doing that, we just say save and close. So in receiving the payment, we have created the deposit to account, which is cash account. So if I wanted to receive this $1, I could just click on save and new. So you'd find our cash account now has got a balance of $1. What this has done, we have done a sale of $1 and we have received the payment. And once we are done, we just click on X to close that window. So this has been paid. As you can see now, it has been paid, closed, right? So as we are doing this, you'd find our reports are being generated. So if we were to come to reports here and check, you'd find our reports are being generated. So if we were to observe those reports, you see that they are being generated. So let's just see, right? So if you were to probably come and observe your profit and loss, right, just to see what is happening there, you'd find for this period, April, we have that income, right? This income is from 1. So I'm just going to change the parameters there. I want just to observe April so that I see. Because in April, I'm sure we just have that $1 as a sale. So I'm clicking on run report. Then you can see that our $1 is there. Now, if we were to check another report, probably just to see our ledgers, let's just wait for it to load up that, right? If we were to probably look at, right, what else can we look at here? Customer balance and build. There are a number of reports, right? But probably if we were just to look at our balance sheet, probably let's look at our balance sheet summary and see, you'd find, so we have, well, this is our balance sheet. So you have that cash account, it has got $1, it has received $1. This $1 that sale we've done. We're going to delete this transaction later on. So that is that on capturing cash sales, the walk-in customers who are coming in, and we have to capture the cash sales. Now, let's look at probably doing an expense. We just come here again on new, then we say, now we want to deal with an expense, right? These are either we are buying suppliers, like, you know, the items that we sell. It could be food that we sell. It could be paying for an expense. So, right. So if we do that, I think you saw what I did there. We could also, instead of going via new, as you saw, I'm just going to close this so that you appreciate the other way. Instead of going, okay, when that window opened, I went via new, then I clicked on expense, right? If I didn't want to use that, I could just come here and click. I could come on expenses, then click on expenses. Then when I do that, again, it's just going to load the same window that you saw. Then I said, we are going to use this to pay for expenses as well as for, okay, so, right. So it will load up this, then we click on new transaction. In this case, it will be expense, right? So this is the other way of doing it. It will load the same window that we saw. So we are going to use this to capture for the expenses like buying fuel for our vehicle. Then you are also going to use it for capturing the purchase of the items that we sell, right? If we sell like beer, it means we'll use that. If we sell food like in the restaurant and we are buying things to use to cook the food that we sell, we use this window. So here we select the person we are paying or the company we are paying. If the company is not there, we add. So we just click on add new. Then let's say probably we are buying from, I'm just going to create OK Zimbabwe, right? For example, I'm just using this as an example, right? We can delete these ones later on. So I could just create OK Zimbabwe. Then if I want, I could put all the other details. If I didn't want, I could just click on save. So I will have OK Zimbabwe there, right? Then I just have to wait for it to create the OK Zimbabwe. Then here I have to select from which account. Now I have to use the cash account because you are paying cash, right? It has got that balance of $1 that we received from that customer. Then here I have to select the date of the transaction. So I just come there, I select the date, right? Then here I have to select the method. In this case, it will be cash, right? If I've got a voucher that we wrote and it was approved, I have to write the reference there, right? Then here now, when I come here, I now have to select the account that we are paying for, right? What expense are we paying for? So I have to select that here, right? So I just look and see on my expenses, the list of expenses that I have. If it is payroll, probably while paying for salaries, it means I will have to write payroll. Then I come here, I write the description. Probably it could be salaries for April 2024, right? Then here I put the amount, right? But let's say probably the account is not there. What it means is I have to click on add new, right? So I click on add new. Then when I click on add new, you'll see it's going to give me a window into which I will be able to capture the expense. So, right, so I have to create the expense account. So what type of an account is it? It's an expense account. So I have to look for expenses, right? Then what is the detail type, right? So I have to select the sort of detail type there, right? Because it's required. So I have to select the detail type and give it a heading, right? Then let's say probably I say, okay, let me see what I have here. Management. Okay, let's say probably it's payroll. Our payroll is already there. So I could probably put a name there. Let's put a name there. Then we bring it on that. So let's say it's fuels and oils, right? As an example, I'm just putting in this as an example. This means this is the fuel and oils that we are putting into our vehicle. So we could probably put it on, right, on other types. We don't have that type here, right? So, okay, probably we just put it there, right? Then we say paste that. Right. Then we can also paste it under description. We can paste it under description. Then we say save and close, right? So what it means now, it means we now have got that account. If we were to come here, we now have got fuels and oils. You can see here. So we can now detail bought 20 liters fuel for Toyota Hilux AAG 2160. I'm just giving this as an example. Then we put the amount. Probably it will cost us $36. So this is how you do it. Then we save and either save and close, or we could say save and new, right? If we did many expenses, all right, actually saved that. I'm going to delete it, right? So if we did many expenses, okay. So I just want to edit that expense, and I'm going to delete it so that it's not on the system, right? So I'm just going to edit that, right? I wanted to explain something. So if we did many expenses on that particular day, which is 22, right? 22, and we did from the cash account, right? We could just leave the payee there, right? So that we don't open and reopen this window. So it means we leave the payee, we pick the payment account, which is cash account, we pick the date, which is the payment method cash. Then we could just enter our expenses, right? Just the way I did this one, all of them for that particular day. Then once we are done, we save and close. Right? So I'm just going to delete that. Then I'll click on save, right? So that it records, right? It records that. So I'm just putting up that. Okay. So I've deleted. So basically, that's how you record your expenses. Okay, let me just edit that and put $1 because I had already put in something. Then I'm going to later on void that transaction. So I'm just going to put in $1 there, right? Then I'll just save that. Okay. So basically, this is how we record our expenses. I'm going to delete these transactions I've done. So if you see our reports are being generated, by so doing, it means our reports are being generated. If we were to view our profit and loss, you would find it will show us that for this period. So I have to select, I just want April, right? Was yeah. Then I'll click on run. Okay. When I click on run, it will show me that no earnings. We did a sale of $1, then we incurred expenses of $1 for fuels and oils. So basically, this is how you record the cash customers who are coming in, as well as the expenses that you are incurring. Right. So thank you. I hope this tutorial has helped you. After you watch it, if there are any other areas that you feel needs to be panel beaten, just let me know, then I'll further explain. Thank you.